Well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watch2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Saturday afternoon, 3:30, Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks hosting the Boston Celtics, Game 3 of the second round. Knicks winning these first two games. I don't know anybody in the world who saw it coming. I'm sure there was one random person on Twitter with 9 followers who was probably bragging about it. But the Knicks have been shocking people, but the job is only halfway done in this one series. The series is a long way from over. And even the Knicks, even after winning these games in Boston, one game in overtime by 3 and the other game by 1 in regulation, they were really talking about in the press conference. They know they haven't played their best game yet. It hasn't been a whole lot of hollering and, acting like they've really accomplished something. And I'm encouraged by that. They know, that the job isn't over. They've been to this place before the last 2 years, referring to the second round. And we saw it end against teams that are definitely not as good as the Celtics. So looking ahead, what do the Knicks need to do to close this series out? Where can they be better? People talk about how the Celtics are playing nowhere near their best level. I don't know if the Knicks are either. But let's talk about a few things they could do. Number one, I'm going to give you 3 things. Number one is consistency. For a good portion of the playoffs, third quarter struggles have been the issue for the Knicks. In their first 7 playoff games, they were outscored in 5 of those 7 third quarters. In their first 5 games, all against that powerhouse Pistons team, they were minus 33 net in those first 5 games against Detroit. But now it's been starts, the beginning of games. The Knicks went scoreless on their first 9 possessions of Game 2, and with a little more than 4 minutes left in the first quarter, had 4 points. And when you look at both the first and third quarter, 33 combined points. That's just not going to fly. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to play 48 perfect minutes because the Celtics are good enough where they're going to get their runs on offense. It's just going to happen. But the Knicks cannot be putting themselves in a position where they have to rally from double digits every night. It's possible. Anything's possible, but it's not to be expected. So consistent play. Don't let Boston get that confidence going for several minutes at a time. Number 2 is the boards, particularly defensive rebounding. Now, during the regular season, Boston was only 18th in offensive rebounding. So they were a little bit less than average. Against the Knicks, they've been getting a lot of second chance opportunities. They are rebounding 36% of their misses over the first 2 games of the series. During the regular season, that would have been second in the league, okay? It's not good, all right? The Knicks' defensive rebounding is not working. And this is a team, the Knicks, who pride themselves on cleaning up the glass on the defensive side. And it's not like it's one player. It's not like it's Al Horford. It's not like it's Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis. It's none of these guys. It's just a team effort. I think it's really a will. I think it needs to be a focus. Maybe a personnel move. A lot of these offensive rebounds come right at the rim. And a lot of times it's, a Celtic player tipping their own miss. So maybe Tom Thibodeau will use Mitchell Robinson and the karlanthonytowns on the floor together. Maybe we will see that happen. I'd argue for Precious Achiuwa or PJ Tucker, maybe getting a couple of minutes per game, but, let's be honest. If you've been watching these games, they're not getting into the game unless there's either major foul issues or an injury. Okay, so that's just not likely to happen. All right, but there needs to be a focus on Celtics miss the one shot, get the rebound, turn it the other way. Number 3, feed the cat. Give Karl-Anthony Towns sustained opportunities at scoring. Towns averaged 24.4 points in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's been 18.6 points per game. Now, when I did my preview video, I talk about how the Knicks should give him some perimeter looks, have him take advantage of his strong shooting ability. Well, he's attempted 2 3-point shots in these first 2 games of this series. Okay, what we're seeing is Boston is putting their wing players on Towns, and then the center is playing off Josh Hart. So basically, Towns has a one-on-one mismatch every time he's coming down the court. So there have been periods where the Knicks are feeding Towns against these undersized defenders, but it never lasts more than a few minutes at a time, and I just don't understand it. I mean, in the first half in Game 2, he was the Knicks' best offensive player. Then he was just ignored in the second half. Second half, 5 attempted field goals. Only 1 was in the fourth quarter, and that 1 field goal was the put-back layup late in the game where he was fouled, became a 3-point play. In fact, he has played 25 of 29 potential fourth quarter and overtime minutes in this series. In those two games, he has attempted 5 field goals and scored 7 points in those minutes. And he is the Knicks' second best offensive player. I really don't think there's any question about it. And the Celtics really don't have the player to guard him all that well. The Knicks got to keep exploiting that. He's been very efficient, in these playoffs. I think him and Josh Hart have been the two most efficient Knicks scorers that they've had. Yes, Jalen's had big moments, but he's had stretches where his shooting has not been quite there. And even if he's not making his shots, he can get the Celtics in foul trouble because he's so physical, he's down low, and then he's pretty good at making his free throws. So just want to say one other thing about this series. Some people are saying that the pressure is on the Knicks, that Game 3 is a must-win, particularly certain people in the national media, those who, aren't outside the NBA, if you know what I mean. I don't consider this game a must-win, not when you're up 2-0 in a series. The must, in my mind, is to win one of the next two. Defend your home court, which, by the way, you have not done very well in these playoffs, losing 2 out of 3 at home to Detroit. All right. The Knicks need to reestablish the Garden as their house, and they'll be trying to do it against a Celtic team that is excellent on the road. And it's going to be at least $800 minimum to get in the building. And at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, I hope the fans are there to make noise. I hope it's not all the rich cats who are just there because they have an opportunity to go, or somebody in their company has a hookup for them or something like that. No, I want that guard making so much noise that my TV shakes all the way down here in North Carolina. That's what I want to see. All right, guys, those are my thoughts. If you got some thoughts on this game, put them right down there in the comments. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you-know-where. The Wicker Chair.